Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in once again. It's a brand new night, a brand new show. We are unedited, unfiltered, and we are going raw. My name is Joey.
And I'm Eric, and we're your hosts, and welcome to Raw Minds. Woo!
Yeah,
All
buddy.
right, buddy. 1-8,
Doing
like we
it.
said.
We doing it. We doing it. For all you guys listening, we first want to say thank you all for your support, the messages that we get, the emails that we get from even across the world now. It is
Yeah.
it's very touching and overwhelming at the same time, but we really appreciate it. And I also like to say that, or why we're here doing this every week is we really want to help as many people as we can that is going through the things that we've had to go through.
Definitely.
You know, we've been through hell and back, lived in trauma and chaos since we were 5 years old, both of us. Um, and we really, to come out of that, I should say, is not only surprising some days, but grateful and blessed for that. And hopefully that we can be, you know, that source for you guys or be there to help you when needed.
Yeah.
So please reach out to us, rawmindspodcast@gmail.com. That is why we're here. You don't have to use your name if you don't feel comfortable. Leave your just work if you need just need to talk, man. If you just need to talk, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, man.
Rawmindspodcast@gmail.com.
Little disclaimer, too. We are not counselors. We're not doctors. We're just two construction workers that take off our hard hats at the end of the day and put our headphones on to try to make a difference. So, I mean, if you guys got any ideas you guys want us to talk about, feel free to reach out. Let us know that we haven't touched on. I also want to say if you guys want to catch this recording before Friday, you're welcome to join us on TikTok. We're live right now on TikTok, and that's raw.minds.podcast on TikTok every Monday. Time varies depending on our guests, if we have guests on, where they are in the world. But enough about that. Friend groups, bro. Toxic friend group.
Toxic environments and the people you date and the people you surround yourself with.
And work.
That is anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody that you choose to spend the most time with, it will either have a significantly positive or negative impact on your life.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I mean,
Right?
me and you are products of fucking work, toxic work environments. Definitely. I'm not gonna say where, but I mean, we when we worked together, definitely. That was, oh man, I had to go on stress leave because it was crazy.
Yeah,
So
and
I mean,
for a man to go on stress leave is very rare. So you know it's bad when you're
yeah,
just like I can't do this.
yeah. And all it takes is that one person, man, to spread that toxicity. And that shit fucking spreads like crazy too, and fast, man. You know?
Especially if it's coming from your bosses or upper management, right? Because it
Yeah,
all starts at the top and then it goes down. And if your boss is a miserable prick every day, then how do you think the rest of the guys underneath them are going to feel coming to work every day? Because I've done jobs that were awesome jobs,
yeah,
but the people were so bad and fucking just so negative and toxic that it made you hate the job when it was actually a good job.
yeah,
Like I would wake up and be like, I fucking hate going to work, but I
yeah,
actually really liked the job, but I just didn't want to because of the people that was around you,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then I've done really shitty jobs, like most people wouldn't do, but amazing bosses and people around you, which made it that much better. So it's who you choose to be around, right?
yeah,
Like people always saying, "Well, I don't have a choice; it's my job." Like, yeah, you do. You have every decision you make in your life is your choice. You choose to go to work every day and stay there for 10 years and be miserable. That's on
Yeah.
you. You can't change how other people act, and you have no control over that. But you
Yeah.
do have control of whether you choose to stay there or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
Well,
then you get all these people playing the victim all the time, like, oh, I've been here for 10 years and I only make this much, but I hate my boss. And fucking shut up.
do
Just,
something
just
about it.
shut up. Do something about it.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
putting yourself in that environment. Well, it's not that easy. Like, well, yeah, you just have to put in the work and find another job. It is
Yeah.
easy. Like,
Find
you don't
something
have
suitable for
problems.
you.
Yeah, you don't have problems. You just got work to do.
Yeah.
So
Solutions,
you got to
man.
find some. And another thing too with that is people just don't realize, like, well, I only got experience in this, but yeah, but you can people don't look at the bigger picture of like transferring skills even.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, well, it has to
Yeah.
be in the same industry. Well, why? Use that same management skills, your fucking people skills, whatever it is, and put it in a different industry. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here
You
let,
know what
let
I
me
mean?
let me say this, man. What because we worked together in that same company. What was it like for you? Even like in the you just quit not too long ago or got out of that job not too long ago. But I mean, what was like the feeling of coming home? Like, how did it make you feel in that like toxic environment? Like, did it just exhaust you? Because I'll tell you this, man. When I came home, man, I was exhausted, and like just from pretty much my own mind, just not wanting to be there. It's just like fuck. It's just like it was exhausting, man. It was exhausting. I like you said, I hated waking up in the morning. We both hated waking up in the morning. We lived together in the same house and drove to work together. It was like when I first started, bro, we were waking up early. Yeah, let's go do this. By the end of it, it was like, fuck, do we really got to go to work today? It fucking drained me, man. I don't know how, like, I'm guessing you're in the same boat as me. Like, how did that make you feel mentally? Definitely.
It definitely weighs on you, right? And even like as men in general, that like I have two kids, right? You have a daughter.
Yeah.
Most men out there have a kid or two or a wife or they're paying the mortgage and they're paying the rent and they got all this to do. So it really, when you feel this way, especially in your work environment,
Yeah.
makes it a lot harder on us because we got to do it no matter what. We got to
Yeah.
take care of our family no matter what. The weight is on our shoulders,
Yeah.
the protector, the provider. And when we went through that, like me, it brought me down severely.
Yeah.
Especially when you know that you work your ass off, how good of a job you do, and it's not appreciated. It's a whole bunch of things to go with it, but as a man, it really beats you down. It
Yeah.
really does. Because
Well, one.
a lot of guys, that deal with their own other personal issues at home, use work because they enjoy work and they work
Yeah.
too much because they don't want to deal with their other shit at home.
Yeah. Buddy, that's my
But
getaway, bro. 100% what you just said is that's my getaway, right? I love work. That's my getaway from getting my mind away from my home life and like the outside of it. And that's what like a lot of people need to do, I believe, is when you go to work, you leave your home life at home. And when you come home from work, you leave your work at work. And a lot of people, I think it affects a lot of relationships too, because people come home and they bring their work with them, and then they had a shitty day and they take it out on their partner, or vice versa. You have a shitty day at home and you come to work and then you take it out on your workers. So I think that's a big thing that a lot of people need to um, learn how to, stop that at home and stop that at work.
separate.
100%. And you know what? I've done it. I've done it. But now I'm still learning. Don't get me, but I'm focusing more at work about the job, and I just try to forget about the shit at home for now. But I noticed definitely if you're having home life shit, it affects your work. when you bring it there, because all you can think about is this and that and this. What's going on? You got to learn how to shut off your brain. It's hard.
And now, and look at, for you, your job that you love is you're out.
Yeah.
Now flip that for most guys out there that don't like their jobs.
Yeah.
Add that to it, right?
Exactly.
Like you have a bit of peace when you go to work, but
I love it, man.
most people struggle at their jobs or aren't happy or fulfilled. I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, that's still your choice to be there, but the weight of that family they got to provide for and trying to find other jobs, maybe they are putting in the work to try to find something but can't, but still got to go there every day. And
Oh yeah.
us men wake up every morning when we walk out those doors. We put on our clothes, you brush your teeth, and we put on a backpack full of bricks. And we carry this backpack of bricks with us every day.
Yeah, man.
And a lot of and
Good
women
for us.
especially don't realize that, and it weighs us down.
We got
And
the pressure of providing, right? That's the big one, providing. And then like, oh, am I not good enough? Did I not do good enough? Am I not making enough money for my family? You know, can I put food on the table? Some people are struggling to put food on the table for their kids. And then trying to hold yourself together at work without feeling weak and emotional and vulnerable, because let's face it, construction is like 98% men. It's a man driven, and all power to the women that are in it, don't get me wrong, but I mean it's mostly men. So you're getting all this testosterone around, you want to act tough because you see all these other guys and you don't want to show weakness, which is then again another, you're fucking your mental health, and it's just a fucking vicious cycle.
yeah, and you end up burying it because you're not talking about it. You're holding it in.
Yeah.
You, and that's where we start to fall apart
Yeah.
slowly, piece by piece,
Definitely,
because it
man.
all starts building up and building up. And that's why we're doing this and where we came from, because it built up over years for me, and then
Yeah.
it shattered me,
Yeah, man.
destroyed me, and that's what we go through on the daily basis of, like I said, that backpack full of bricks.
Yeah.
We're carrying the weight of this and hoping that our wives and girlfriends don't look at us different because we're not making as much money this month,
Yeah.
or I can't take them on that trip yet, or whatever it may be, and then we're holding it in because you don't want to be looked at different, and that's where it comes as a sign of weakness, like you said, as a man. But it's the reality is, and in my own experiences, is if I would have talked about a lot of shit back then, I wouldn't have gone through what I went through, some of it, because I was able to talk about it and deal with it and
Yeah.
figure it out, instead of,
Yeah.
like most of us do, is hold it all in. And in my head, in my mind, I'm going to figure I'm the man, I'll figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
But I couldn't,
Well,
and I didn't. And that cost me a lot. It cost me girlfriends, it cost me friends, it cost me relationships with family, because I was just, and that's what we did.
yeah.
That's the backpack of bricks.
Yeah.
And so being able to talk about this shit that weighs us down, and to deal with our core issues, whatever they may be, in your past childhood traumas, and is releasing those bricks one by one out of that backpack.
Yeah.
So you feel lighter when you leave your house every morning, and you're happier, and you're able to separate your work from your personal life.
Yeah.
But we're not just carrying that backpack full of bricks to work. You're still wearing it when you're laying on the couch watching the TV.
Yeah.
You're still wearing it when you're standing in the shower. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Actually,
So
you know what,
it's
man? Speaking of like releasing bricks, I just want to put this out there. I think this is good for me and good for everybody out there. I just want to apologize to anybody out there that I've ever hurt, disrespected, was wrong to I'm sorry. I just want to put that out there because that's part of it too is you need to apologize for things to release and for in order for you to heal. And I think it was I think that needs to be said. So I am sorry if I ever hurt you or crossed the path. I truly am. I've grown a lot in these years, so I just wanted to put that out there.
No, and
Just
that's
to,
commendable
yeah,
for you saying that, right? And that's a big thing in is to be able is letting go.
yeah,
And it's not even always letting go of what people have done to you. It's letting go of things you've done to them
yeah,
and forgiving yourself and taking accountability and looking yourself in the mirror and said, I did that.
yeah,
I fucked up. I'm
yeah,
sorry. You
and
know,
like
asking for forgiveness from that person or whoever you might have hurt. That's
yeah,
massive in your growth as a
yeah,
person. We all make mistakes. We've all said shit we never meant.
yeah,
You know, we've all ran off emotions on arguments and lost
hell yeah,
relationships on temporary emotions when we really didn't want that. And we're human beings.
yeah,
We all fuck up. None of us are perfect. We're all
yeah,
fuck. We all got problems. Every one of
100
us, every single
100%,
person,
man.
male or female, has problems on some level.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
you know, for you to say that, and that's big. And for the people listening, is you know, when I real quick 2 years ago when I was in my room, we've for 5 days and I couldn't leave my room because I was so messed up
yeah,
and broken. In that journey of coming out of that room, then trying to find that switch was learning to forgive myself. And I was reaching out to exes I didn't talk to for 5 years. And I'm just like, I just want to tell you I'm sorry. And I don't want nothing back. Was no intention behind it. And whether you answer me or not, I just knew I had to say it to
yeah,
anyone that you know what I mean?
yeah. Well,
So,
we're live here, right, on TikTok, and we have a comment from Tony, and Tony's right, man. Amends to free yourself, and that's what it is. You're freeing yourself of this, and it's pushing that out into the world. And if they accept it, s- some will, some won't. But at least you took that step to do it, like I just did. And whoever that's listening, that I did hurt, if I did hurt you in my past, I hope you take that step and realize that, you know, I truly am sorry. So
yeah,
you
and
were saying
even
though, dropping the bricks there, that's me taking a brick out of my backpack that to make it less heavy for me, and that's where I got this idea right now. You just popped it up, man, and that's one less brick I have to carry now in my backpack.
and that's awesome, man. You know, and that also goes on the other side of the when people do things to you. And there's a
Yeah,
lot of shitty fucking people, and there's a lot of shitty things that's happened to me, and that happens to a lot of people when they
yeah,
didn't deserve it. It wasn't their fault, but these things that happen to you, you also have to be able to forgive. And they always say forgiveness is not for them; it's for you.
100%, baby.
A million percent.
Yeah,
Because if you sit there and hold on to what this person has done to you, you know, you're causing yourself emotional punishment
yeah,
for other people's bad behaviors.
yeah.
So you people got to learn to let that go by because you hold on to these things because I could hate a lot of people in my life, a
But
lot.
what's the point,
But
man?
but you know what? Like you said, when you just learn to let go and you just and you just feel free
Yeah,
because you know when someone does something that's out of your control. There's
yeah,
nothing you can do about it. As heart wrenching, as damaging as it was, you have to be able to let it go. And we've talked about this a
yeah,
lot in the past. Is even if it wasn't your fault, it's still your problem.
yeah,
It's still now. What do you do going forward? You can go forward and you can sit and hold on to this anger and resentment, but all that's doing is blocking the, you know, the universe from letting in all these other things, because
100%.
you're holding on to this hate and this resentment.
Yeah. How can
So
you
when
have
you
love in
start,
your heart?
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So when people start realizing they got to learn just to let things go, and you will feel free, you will feel like a weight's been lifted, even if it was the most heartbreaking, damaging what someone could have done to you.
Yeah. Hey,
You know, and that even
Joey,
goes back.
read
What's
out.
up?
Sorry to cut you off, though. Read out what Tony said, man. Read that out to the people listening here, because I think that's important. It goes to what you're saying.
Oh, 100%. Because he said you stay sick over other people's actions.
No,
And
the one. Yeah.
yeah, and resentment is drinking poison expecting the other person to die.
So
Million
true.
percent.
So true.
Million percent.
And that goes with what you were just saying.
And it was a hard, even for me in my experiences, letting go of certain things after what some people have done to you is extremely difficult, and you don't know how I could get over this.
Yeah.
And it took a long time for certain, things that's happened, and especially when you look back at especially people with their childhood traumas, that's where they really have a hard time letting go, because my daddy touched me or whatever really bad things that's happened to people, and I'm really
Hmm.
sorry for that, but that happens. It's life. So letting go of those kind of things is extremely difficult.
Definitely, man.
But you're letting go for you, not
Yeah.
for them. It's for you, so you can move forward in your life, because like I said, it's still your problem, and it's still something that you need to deal with.
Yeah.
So do you move forward holding on to this? And like I said, you you're not letting anything new into your life, right? Just like when you go through a breakup. I don't trust, and my heart was broken, shattered. I'll never trust someone again. I'm not letting somebody in again. And you have this big, resentment or fear of being hurt, and you just push away and push away. Well, you're not
Yeah.
allowing new love into your life, because you keep holding on to what someone did to you 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even if you get to that point where you want it, you're not going to find it, because in your
Yeah.
mind, and you're just sitting on this and this and this, and he did this and she did this 5 years ago, and you haven't let it go yet.
Or if you're dating someone brand new, and you're bringing that into the relationship, then you're going to be analyzing this person. You're going to be just picking them apart, trying to find why this person, if it's a good guy or good girl, you're going to be analyzing that person, driving yourself crazy, trying to find the bad things, which in turn, you're going to fuck that relationship up. You're at the end of the day, then you're what's it called? Um, what do you call it when you not sacrifice? Fuck, I can't even think of it. It's on the words on the tip of my tongue here, where you um, you're setting up for failure, setting up your relationship for failure right off the start, because you're trying to pick apart all this shit. And that goes also with friend groups too. You know, so I mean, just be wary, man. Be wary about your mindset. Be wary about who you have around you, because it can affect you. Like we've said before, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You know, you want to grow and feed off of these people. You don't want these people to bring you down and be an anvil. It's all about
But
leveling up.
not just you. We've talked a lot about like your partners and who you attract, but
Yeah,
that goes for the people around you and the people you hang out with, right?
yeah,
It's You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are, and that
yeah,
goes in a basis of, and anybody in your life, on what you bring into your life,
yeah,
right? So if you're looking at your friends and all they do is go to the same pub for 20 years on a Friday night, doing rails, whatever the fuck they do, with just doing the regular 9 to 5 with no goals and no ambition, Well, how is that going to bring your life up any? You're just going to be
Yeah.
sitting beside them in the same pub, and your
Yeah.
life, and you'll be like most people, is just existing. You're not
Yeah.
even living your life. You're existing. And a lot of
Yeah.
people are like that because they go to the job that they don't like. Oh, I got to pay my bills. Yeah, I get it. Everyone's got bills. And find another job.
Yeah.
Well, I've known these friends for 20 years. I'm like, okay, you can still, you don't have to cut them off completely, but you don't need to hang out with them as much as you do,
Yeah.
because you got to learn to look at yourself in the mirror and be selfish and be like, this is not benefiting my life whatsoever. And the
100%.
reason you attract, and the reason why these people have these friends in their lives that are negative, is because they haven't fixed themselves. It's the same as when you date toxic women or men, is
Yeah.
because you haven't fixed yourself, and that's what you attracted. And same with friends, that's the group you brought into your life because of you. You're the
Yeah.
same. We might not do the same actions, some of them, but you're the same person, pretty much. You're the same. There, you guys all have issues that you've never fixed. That's why you're
Mm-hmm.
hanging out together, right? So if you're
Yeah.
always hanging out with guys that are doing this and doing that, that's you attracted that from into your life. You brought that
Yeah.
into your life,
Yeah.
1,000,000%. But
Yeah.
now you have to look at your life and like, does this really benefit me hanging out with this person? Because all every time I see this person, it's negative. Every time I see this person, they're complaining, and they do
Mm-hmm.
nothing about it. Because I hate those people. They're the worst. Get
Yeah.
them away from you right now. If you have friends that are just bitching and complaining about their life, I want to lose weight, but don't go to the gym. I hate my job, but don't bother looking for another one. And just complain and complain. Poor me. And then point fingers. It's his
Yeah.
fault. I'm like this. I'm sorry I'm like this because of what happened to me 10 years ago. Shut up. Those
Yeah.
people, literally, just shut up. Nobody cares. It's just, you're not doing anything about it. So if you have people like that around you, get them away from you, because those people will
100.
drag you down. You can be a friend from a distance, you can answer a phone call once in a while, but stay away from those people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't cut it because one, they're lonely and they don't have many friends, and maybe that's the only friend or two they got. But I tell you, your life, you sit by yourself and go through that lonely stage and cut them off. Say you only have those two friends and you cut them off. Do you know what you can do for yourself and in your life when you're by yourself? Most people will not sit by themselves. They're too distracted. They're
Yeah.
either in a relationship or they're fucking out with friends all the time. They're doing this and doing this, and they're not even focusing on their life. They're just existing and then partying and doing this and this,
Yeah.
right?
It's
So
sucking the energy out of you.
1,000,000% it is. But when you're able
Yeah.
to sit by yourself, you'll figure out what it is that you want, who it is you are, because you're just going to be miserable. You're going to start, you're living to please other people, and you'll live in a constant state of depression by doing that.
Yeah.
And that's why most people are depressed and just existing, because they're not fulfilled, they're not happy, they're hanging around, and there may not be losers, they're friends. They're good. I know lots of good people. They just have fucking zero drive and complain. They're still good, you know, people day to day, but doesn't mean they're good for your soul and good for your life.
Yeah.
You can
I
still be
agree,
good
man.
with them. You can still, but you don't need to be around that. If they're going out on Friday night again, fucking, and we said this before, is the one word that will change your whole life is no.
Yeah.
Once you start learning to say no, because you got to focus on what you need to do, or you got to, you got a big, meeting in the morning for work, for a promotion, all these positive things that you're trying to do. And most people, and I've done it numerous times, man, you get sidetracked.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be doing something that's going to be helpful to you, but instead you're like, fine, I'll go to that festival, fine, let's
Yeah.
go, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then it fucks you up. You go
Yeah.
drinking, then for 3 days you're hungover, you're not motivated for 3 days, you don't go to the gym, you don't do anything because you
Yeah.
feel like shit, because as you get older it lasts more than a day,
Yeah, it
all
does.
because all because you didn't say no.
Yeah. Well, it's
And
the
instead,
battle. It's a battle, right? Between the good and evil on your shoulders, man. And like fucking 80% of the time, people are gonna say, "Oh, the devil, whatever," just this one time, and then you're gonna feel like shit the next day.
It's just saying no. And people
Yeah,
won't do that because, oh, I'll be bored if I just, yeah, but what are you going to do? People won't use their time that they're given wisely.
yeah,
Like if you, most people, if they're sitting at home on a Friday night by themselves and they're not going anywhere, they're just watching TV and watching movies. That's it. Why are you researching? Why are you trying to figure out if you're not happy with your job, how I can get out of it? How can I
yeah,
make a side hustle? How can I make extra cash?
definitely, yeah,
Right? Instead, they'll just sit there and fucking whatever and watch. Like it's oh, don't get me. Hey, I love watching a movie, but when you're given all this free time, then utilize it.
yeah,
And if you don't, that's fine. It's your life. It's your life. It's your life. Live it how you want. Doesn't matter if you, as long as you're happy. But if you choose to live that life and be miserable and don't like your job, you have zero right to complain. Zero.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
just choose not to do anything about it. So
You're
if you have friends like that that's around you that is just complain and victims and poor me, get them away from you right now. Delete them. Fucking get rid of them.
But
You know.
there's also too. I mean, like I'm gonna be straight up with you. I've been not okay these last 5 days. I really haven't. So I've been dealing with depression, and I'm actually pretty excited because we gotta do what we preach. So I got a counselor. So that's gonna start on Tuesday. I just been going through some stuff. Besides, like my mom had a heart attack, and then my uncle died, and then my friend died. And there's a couple other things too. So it was a lot, man. There's a lot holding on, right? I was just fucking tired. And to be honest with you, like it was hard for me to get out of bed. It was a fucking chore. I had to pull strength just to get out of the bed, man. You know what I mean? So when you see your friends going through that, you also got to realize, are they just being lazy, or are they struggling? There's two sides to that shit, right? So also, like,
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
struggling. That's different. I'm just talking about the day to day negative people in life that
Yeah,
just complain about life and fucking hate on people online and talk shit. Like fuck, get rid of those people. That's what. But when
yeah,
you're struggling and
yeah,
you're a real friend, yeah, you're gonna do what you can to
yeah,
be that support and you can
yeah.
be there to help them. And sometimes, like you said in the beginning about being a real friend is being a real friend, like you said, is telling the truth and saying,
I
listen,
I'm gonna stop
you,
you right there, bro. I'm gonna stop you right there. I want to say thank you because you're a real fucking friend. And everybody that's listening to this, I had a shitty fucking day. I was almost in tears. I just couldn't take it anymore. And Joey was a real friend. And he told me straight up what I needed to hear. Not what I wanted to hear, but what I needed to hear. So you are a real friend. I just want to put that out there. What Joey did, it helped me. And now I do I not look and sound better than when we talked? You know what I mean? And
you
that's
do.
because of you, bro. That's because of you. You really helped me. So here's my heart to you, buddy. Here's my little heart to you. Thank you, man. I love you, brother.
No, but that's because I love you, bro. And when you are a good friend and they're struggling, which is the difference of the complainer, then we all go through shit. We all struggle. We all hurt. We're human beings. Doesn't matter how big
Yeah,
of a guy you are, you will go to your knees at one point because you are hurting
yeah,
and you are feeling broken and you
yeah,
are in that dark room.
yeah,
But being a good friend in general is telling the truth. And a lot
yeah,
of people won't do it like, oh, it's okay, you'll be fine. And then that's it. Like, no,
yeah,
I'm telling you the truth. And you have to be able to tell the person that you care about or the person you love the truth, knowing that they're going to get mad at you for saying it because
yeah,
they don't want to hear the truth. And most
yeah,
people can't take the truth or don't want to hear it. And sometimes when you're having a rough time or someone's having a rough time, they definitely don't want to hear someone tell them what they need to hear. They want to hear you tell them what they want to hear because they're feeling shitty. They want to be, you know, fucking pat him on the back and rub his head and tell him it's okay. When
yeah,
Sometimes the reason they're in that, I'm not talking about you, I'm just saying in general,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is sometimes that the reason they're in it is because of their own poor choices, right? So
Yeah.
that's where the friend comes in and be like, listen, man, okay, you need to fucking get up now. That's enough, right? I'm here for you. I love you. But right now, you got to knock this shit off and you got to get up. And this is what we're
Yeah.
going to do to start. We're going to get you going again. And I don't care. You want me mad at me for telling you the truth? Here it is.
Yeah.
Because I care about you.
Yeah. And that's what we were saying earlier, like you said, right?
Right. So that's a big thing too, is it's just sometimes when you're in it and you're feeling that low and that down, is you definitely need to hear that, because the
Yeah.
stories you're telling yourself when you're down might not actually be what the truth is until someone
Yeah.
tells you what it is.
Yeah.
Right. But
Well,
yeah,
I'm seeing on here that Gary has something to say. I'd like to bring that up. He
yeah, if
says the
you want.
crazy I'll say the crazy thing, people don't know how we try to deal with our mental health. We're like a volcano, and it's true. Like you never know. We're just ready to erupt. You know, it's totally true, man. It's like, what's gonna push us over that edge? You know?
And it could be the smallest thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
again, that's because, that's when it gets to that point, that's your backpack ripping, and
yeah,
you're just
definitely.
overloaded with bricks in that backpack,
Yeah,
and you're starting to get pulled backwards, and it's starting to
yeah,
rip and tear and choke you.
yeah. It's true. But I mean, once again, that's when you got to realize that you're in that emotion. You're feeling like that, and you got to step back and have control. I know it's fucking hard. I mean, I deal with it on a daily basis, but I try to practice it, and I know it's hard. But I mean, you got to step back, realize, okay, this is triggering me. I got to take myself out of that situation before I explode and do something stupid. And it's all about having that mindset, because that's how you level up.
Yeah, the self awareness.
Yeah,
And a lot of
definitely.
people, I heard this and it actually blew my mind that 85% of people in general are not self aware. 85%.
Yeah,
That's insane. But a reason I believe is that most people are not self aware is because they're so caught up in, like for me, I ran on autopilot because I was so messed up with all these things going on and happened to me over the years,
yeah,
that you're so focused on all this shit day to day that you're not focused on being self aware,
yeah. No doubt.
because your mind is so polluted that it's impossible to think clearly of what you're about to do, what you're about to say, or take in what's going on, because you're so poisoned in your mind that you're just reacting to everything and
Yeah,
emotions.
yeah,
And that's what sets you off, and that's when you blow up.
yeah,
And that's why a lot of people are like that, because they're not dealing with what's going on inside, or they haven't. So
yeah,
it builds up, it builds up, it builds up. So now that your head is so cloudy, and most people's heads are, it's impossible to be self-aware, because you can't think of anything else besides
exactly, man.
what's fucked you up, or
Yeah,
the stresses of your life,
yeah.
because you're
That's when you.
so and so
Well,
broken. You know what I mean? That you can't
yeah,
think of like the positive outcome to this, or maybe I shouldn't say that, because you're not even, you have no train of thought in that direction. All
yeah,
you're thinking is how sad I am, and how down I am, and how angry this person is making me, and how stressed I am, and how I don't have enough money for this. So how
yeah,
can you be self aware? And you know what I mean?
yeah.
And
Definitely.
that was me. But once you start to work on this, your core issues, that's where I believe that 15% of people being self aware is, because they've started to work on, you're going to counseling and doing all these positive things, which starts to help you filter out the cloudiness in your mind, and
Yeah,
open it up to bring in clarity and positivity. And then that's when the people, once you start fixing you and getting better, you attract the better relationships, the better friends, the better friend
Yeah.
groups, and then all of a sudden you're getting the job you never thought you would get because you're
Yeah.
just in such a better
And
space.
then you got good people coming in your life. Like you'll have healthy women or healthy men coming into your life. You know what I mean? Like that's with me and Joy. We talked about this. Maybe I just wasn't in a good space, and I was attracting unhealthy people, and nothing against them, but they're dealing with what they need to deal with, and I'm trying to deal with what I need to deal with, and it's just like this, right? You know what I mean? It's not coming together like this. It's two people, and that's what it is, man.
And
You got to
most
step.
and most yeah,
Well,
and
I just
most people don't see it
yeah,
because they're in it and they
hundred
think this
percent.
person that they've attracted, whether it's a friend or a fucking partner, is their saving grace. I feel happier now because I'm with them and they make me feel good and this and that.
Yeah,
But really, this person is as fucked up as you are. You just don't even know it
yeah. Like
because
Eric
you've
says.
attracted that.
Yeah. Well, like Eric says, misery loves company, right? And it's true.
1,000,000% it is, right? So
Yeah,
it's really hard to be self-aware and be mindful of what you're seeing when you're feeling like that
yeah,
or when you're really depressed because you want people to tell you it's going to be okay. You want people to tell you you're not alone. You want people to make you try to make you smile and feel better, but it's all temporary band-aids. That's all it
yeah.
is. When
But
you're there, if you're not working on yourself, anything that you bring into your life after that is all band-aids. So
well, like,
until you start bringing in
sorry.
and fixing yourself and the healing process and the healing journey and going back to, like I said, of being alone, if you got to cut friends and you feel and to be alone, that's where you have to be, is alone for a
Yeah,
while
yeah,
to figure out who you are and what it is that you want,
yeah.
right?
You know what? And it's okay to fucking burn bridges too, man. Bring gasoline and light that shit on fire, man. Because if it's gonna make you better, fuck, who gives a shit, man? And I'm not saying go out there and fucking literally light people's houses on fire or like fucking hurt people. But cut them off, burn the bridge, fucking cut them off. Tell them what you think. You're not elevating me in my life. I don't want you in my life. And it's okay to burn those bridges because you need to take care of number one, and that's the most important thing. Because how are you going to level up when everybody's fucking bringing you down? Everybody's an anchor and they're just holding you. You're never going to be able to level up. Like we said, man, you got to surround yourself with the people that are going to bring you up. Get rid of like the toxic people, like Joey says, that's talks negative all the time. That they're just spewing fucking negativity that's just puking all over you. And you're walking around with this invisible puke all over you, man. And you just stink of negativity because you're hanging out with all these negativity people,
1,000,000%.
you know?
You know, you won't know. You'll know that you're growing up is when you start losing friends.
Yeah,
When you
definitely.
start realizing and start realizing that what you're doing right now is not working. You're not moving up. You're not moving forward. You're stagnant. You're
Yeah,
existing.
yeah,
You're miserable, or the people around you is just always complaining. Like you said, they're always complaining. He's always complaining. Is once you get to the point where you're like, you know what, I need to change, and in that healing journey of whatever it is that you guys are dealing with, a big part of that is cutting people off, lose those friends
yeah,
because it is dragging you down. It is destroying your life. And like I said in the beginning, it's not you don't have a friend circle. You're living in a cage,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you need to, you know what I mean. You need to get out of that cage, and you
yeah,
have to be selfish. And people don't want to do that. They don't want to be alone. They don't want to lose friends, and I get it, or feel lonely. But like I said, you will never truly find yourself until you sit alone, until you start saying, no, I'm not going. I got to do this. No,
yeah,
I'm sorry. I can't do it. And don't feel bad. Oh, I'm going to feel bad if I don't hang out with them. They asked me twice already. You know what? No disrespect to them, but if you're not where you want to be in your life, then you have to keep saying no until you are.
Definitely.
You have
Definitely.
to say no until you get to where you are comfortable and where you want to be. But
Yeah.
until then, you got work to do on yourself. You got work to do, and if it's your job that's making you miserable, you need to change it now.
Yeah, man.
Because you know that just going to your job and you hate it, you are actually wasting 67% of your life. Think about that.
Definitely.
By going to work every day to a job that you hate. 67% of your life is
Yeah.
wasted
Yeah.
because you're miserable.
Yeah.
Wasted because you're
I
not fulfilled and you're not living your life. So any changes that you know that if you wake up every day and there's something that fucking bugs you, stresses you out every day, you need to start working on that to clear that now. If it's a
Yeah.
debt, start paying it off. If it's a
Yeah.
job that you hate, start looking for another one
Yeah, man.
because there is a million jobs out there. Oh, I might not get the same money. Well, have you looked? Have you tried?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with getting information. There's nothing wrong with research. You're
Yep.
just telling yourself, "Oh, I've been here for 20 years and I already make decent money, but I'm not going to find this anywhere else." Well, you haven't even fucking tried. So how would you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It's true.
So anything that is dragging you down, making you feel depressed, stressing you out, hit that dark cloud hanging over your head on your day to day, and adding bricks to that fucking backpack is you got to start working and taking care of it now.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it'll take me fucking forever to get rid of this debt or whatever it may be. Like, yeah, well, if you start now, it's going to take you a year. And if you don't do anything, then you're going to have it for fucking 5 years.
It's just gonna
Pick
linger.
one. Pick one.
Yeah.
Do you
You're
want
just
to be
adding more
stressed out for?
bricks.
You're
You're
just
just
adding
putting
more
bricks.
bricks to yourself. That's
Yeah.
all you're doing.
That's me putting bricks in my backpack.
But so whatever it is, you got to be selfish. You got to take care of you first. We've said it numerous times in the past. That goes for being the best parent, the best fucking husband, the best boss, the best coworker, whatever. Is you got to be selfish. Take care of yourself first. You
Yeah.
have to start look, working on dropping those bricks out of that bag one by one.
Yeah.
And it's not
Definitely.
easy, and it's a tough road, and everyone goes through different things, and some people's road is going to be a little bit longer, losing some bricks. It's understandable, but at least you are working on dropping the weight in that bag,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do. It's the littlest thing, and we'll go back one more time to what we said previous, and I've said numerous times about that 1 degree. It's the same thing. You got, and if you guys are just tuning in or just listening, is think of a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean and you offset his destination by 1 degree. A week later, you're not going to see a change in the direction that ship was going. But you see 3 months from now where that ship ends up is in a whole completely different destination. And that's the same with your life. Take the baby steps, one
Yeah.
little 1% a day of making that 1 degree
Yep.
of doing something different that's not in your regular routine. And I
Yeah, man.
promise you, you do that 3 months from now, that bag is not even close to as heavy as it was.
Yep. Yeah. Like Eric says, it's bricks are gonna feel like feathers, man.
That's just it. And that's how
Yeah.
that's the way it works.
Yeah.
But don't overwhelm yourself. Don't try to do everything because if you have so many things on your plate that you need to fix and you got to work on and deal with this and that, just focus on what you have control over,
Yeah.
not what you don't have control over first, and then tackle one problem at a time. Small
Baby
wins,
steps. Baby steps,
baby
bro. It's all
steps,
about the baby
small
steps.
wins. And
Yeah.
if once and that 1 degree in your day is, you know what, I can't deal with this friend anymore. I can't talk to him right now because it's draining me. Cut it.
Yeah.
Just there's one. Whatever it is, anything that's routine in your day, you need to add something different to your
100%.
routine
Yeah.
to start dropping those bricks out of that bag because that shit gets fucking heavy and it
Yep.
will weigh you down. And I sure as hell hated wearing it, standing in the shower every day. I
Mm-hmm.
fucking hated it playing at the park with my kids. It killed me.
Yeah, yeah, man.
I could barely walk carrying that bag of bricks every day.
Yeah, your
Before,
shoulders are down. You just feel depressed. You know, it just drags you down. You don't want to do anything because it's just too heavy to go anywhere. And I'm not talking like physical, but it feels like it, bro. It feels like you're carrying something physical, you know? And that's why they say like when you like when I just apologized for everything I did, I felt lighter. You know what I mean? Because you're releasing that. And it's true. Even though I really don't have anything on my back, we really are carrying an invisible backpack. And that's why I feel lighter, you know? And you will feel lighter when you let that shit go or deal with it and let it go. It's the true thing, man. Like I just
well,
said it
that's
again and I felt like it went.
yeah, and that's the biggest thing is learning to let go of things. Let go of
Yep.
that relationship that didn't work. Let go of what that ex friend did to you. Just you have to let these things go so you can
Yep.
bring new things into your life
Yep. Yep.
because you are holding back your what's the word your a real abundant life,
Yep.
a positive happy life is because you just keep holding on to the negative energies and what people have done to you.
Definitely. Well, Kiki girl says, "Cut it out." Remember this one? I think it was from Full House. It's like, "Cut here, wait, cut it out." Remember that shit? That's what you got to do, man. Cut that shit out. But
Yeah.
it's true, man. You do. You got to cut that shit out. Like I said, fuck. Who cares? Burn the bridge. Fucking dump gasoline on that shit. Not in real life, but I mean, burn that shit. Like you're gonna grow. You know, leave those people alone. Leave them behind. Move forward and push forward and let them fucking sink. Don't let them bring you down, right?
People make their own choice. It's you can be there for your friends like we talked about. If they're your real friends, be there. But you can also only be there as well for your friends is for
As much as you can.
so as much as you can, because at the end of the day, it's just like an addict or an alcoholic.
Yep.
They're not gonna change or go get help until they're ready to do it. Doesn't matter what we say, friends say, and it's the
Yep.
same thing. If someone's struggling, you be there for them. You be a friend, 100%. I'll be your friend
Yep.
till the day I die. But at the end of the day, still, it is still up to you,
Yep.
and it is still up to you. And if you are going through whatever it is that you're going through, and you're listening right now, nobody is coming to save you. You have
Yep.
friends that will support you, but nobody is coming to save you. I'll tell you that right now.
Yep.
Only you can save yourself,
Yeah, 100%, man.
right? So what
Yep.
do? It's okay to take a knee. We all get knocked down. Take a fucking knee, but don't lie down.
Yep.
Take a knee, feel that emotions, whatever it is that you're dealing with. When you feel, you heal.
Yeah, it's
But
true,
at the
man.
end of the day, whatever it is that you're dealing with, whether it was your fault or not, it is still your problem, and you need to do something about it. And you only. Nobody's saving you.
Yeah.
So now it's up to you. What do you do going forward?
Yep.
Don't you play the blame game? You'll never fix what's happened. You'll never fix yourself. And if you think it's easier just to blame everybody else for the problems that you're dealing with, you're going to live a really sad life. I'm sorry,
Yep. You got to put that
because you
cape
could
on. You know what I
because
mean?
you couldn't let it go, and that's a
Yep.
part of letting it go.
Yep.
Regardless if it wasn't your fault, let it go.
Yep.
Well, I
Put
don't
that
care. I
cape
hate
on,
him,
man.
but you have to let it go, no matter what.
Yep.
And if you want a life where you bring in the positive people, that's a big one. It's just let it go.
Yeah.
And well, it's not that easy. Like, yeah, you're right. Sometimes it's not that easy.
Yeah.
But the forgiveness is for you, not for them.
And don't let people live rent free in your head, man. And like you know what I mean? Like you're gonna drive yourself crazy. But like what we were talking about too is like you can tell people all you want, right? But it's up to them to take that step. Well, a great saying is you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it, and it's true. You can't. You can lead your friends or your loved ones there or whoever that's dealing with something. You can give them all the advice, but it's up to them to take that step. You know, and
Oh,
sometimes,
million.
man, you know, someone just needs like someone just wants a friend to come there and just sit there quietly, you know? That's That's all I wanted. And you know what? You did that, man. You would come over after work, after my fiance passed away. You would just come over and sit there, and you just sat there. Sometimes we wouldn't even talk, man. But just your presence there fucking helped me, and that's all we need sometimes is just having someone, their energy just beside us, you know. A lot of times, like, people, oh, let's talk about it, talk, well, sometimes people don't want to talk about it. People just want to sit there and have someone beside them, just there. I just want to say thank you for doing that for me, man. I
Well,
appreciate
of
you.
course, buddy. Anything, man. It's what friends are for, right?
Yeah, yeah, man.
But the biggest thing is when you guys start working on yourselves and you start being selfish, you start cutting the friends that bring you down, you will definitely go through a lonely period. We all do when you're on that healing journey. But
Yeah,
I promise you, on the other end of that, the people that you bring into your life, when you start becoming more fulfilled, doing things that you love to do or really like, and work on yourself, do some counseling, reach out, talk, deal with the things that you're dealing with on the day to day in your head. Who you bring into your life will actually blow your mind.
yeah,
Because when I look back 3 years ago to now and who I've in the 3 years, let's put it this way. I looked at if I ever got married, and this is 3 years, 4 years ago, on who all my friends would be on my groomsmen. Fast forward 4 years from now, 1 out of 5 is still on that list because of who I've attracted on my healing journey. On these people, I'm like, I didn't know you could have friends like this.
yeah,
I've never had friends like this. I've never had, a relationship like this. You know what I mean? I've never had.
yeah,
I've worked with people like this. This is awesome
yeah,
because that's what I'm radiating now, and this is what you need to radiate and bring into your life is the positivity, the love, the real love, not temporary band-aids and these toxic people.
yeah. But you know what, man?
Right?
People are gonna struggle. I'll tell you this, like, because you're going out of your comfort zone. It's what you're used to. You know what I mean? You're used to hanging out with, going to the bar, fucking drinking every night or whatever it is you're doing or whatever. But people are used to that. So when you're starting to upgrade and level up and you're hanging out with these people that, are I don't know, going to karaoke instead, you know what I mean? Or like whatever it is, right? You're not used to that because you're used to the old ways, and it's okay to not feel totally comfortable because you're stepping out of your comfort zone to going into something new. And that's when you start feeling uncomfortable, that's when you're starting to move forward in this life and starting to learn when you're putting yourself in those situations because you're not used to it, and that's you're moving forward. Oh, hello, pizza's here. um Anyways, but yeah, man, I mean, like, so if you're in the process of moving forward and changing your life and having like a new friend group or whatever it is that you're doing and you feel uncomfortable, just stick to it because at the end of the day, I bet you it's going to level you up and it's going to be a better experience. I don't want to see you fall back into the old ways. I mean, I've done it multiple times. I've done things and then got like, oh, this is not. I feel uncomfortable, and stepped away from it, and then there I am again, going and doing what I used to do. I'm saying obviously in my past, but it's just about being okay to get out of that comfort zone. You need to get out of that comfort zone. It's like jumping out of a plane, like we talked about before. You know, it's uncomfortable. You're not like, oh shit, I'm going to jump out of the plane. And like we said, you're scared to the point where you're falling out of the sky. And as soon as you're falling out of the sky, you're like, holy fuck, what am I scared of? This was fun. It's that first portion of getting to where you need to get to that's uncomfortable. But when you get there, you're gonna love it. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna meet new people or whatever the hell you're doing. It's about leveling up.
Yeah, and getting out of that comfort zone in terms of your even with your dealing with your traumas on even on
Yeah.
that on the mental side of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's getting out of your comfort zone on maybe a career and a relationship and people. There's also the out of your comfort zone on the mental side,
100%.
and getting uncomfortable talking about something that you haven't talked about ever, or whatever it is, because just like you about having fun, think about how you're going to feel when you
Mm-hmm.
finally let that go and you finally find the tools. Because unless you go and try to find the resources and the sources to deal with it, you're not going to find the tools either unless you're looking. So imagine how you're also going to feel getting through that uncomfortable place to finally feeling like you can live again.
Yeah,
Finally
exactly.
not be on autopilot like I ran for 15 years and be anxiety driven every single day, depressed
Mm-hmm.
every single day, suicidal, attempted suicides, all of that, back to back to back, because I never dealt with it. I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I didn't want to. Talk about it. I didn't want to. It was too much for me. But you have to. You have
Yeah.
to, because, like Eric said, you get out of that comfort zone, and anything in your life, that's where you grow the most. And
Yeah.
that's a part, and that's the same as that 1 degree every day pushes you into a different direction, pushing you out of that comfort zone, because that's not your daily routine. That's not your daily habit. So the mental and the physical side of getting out of your comfort zone is you have to. And I
Yeah.
promise you, how you will feel when you go through that and deal with it on the other end is the most clarity you will ever feel in your life. Because
Yeah, bet.
if your mind was as poisoned as mine for that long, and to be as clear as it is today, I never thought that would have been possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I put in the work. I did everything I could to not feel like that anymore, and it was fucking hard.
Oh, I bet,
But
man.
you got to put in that work if you want to come out that other side, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're doing what we're doing, and that's why we want you guys to reach out to us. That's why, if you guys don't know how to figure out how to get out of that comfort zone, or how to find the light in that room, in that dark room, that's what we're here for.
Definitely,
So,
man. Definitely. We just wanna we just wanna change the world one person at a time. That's it. At the end of the day, we don't want to see anybody else lose their life over this shit. It's 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 enough is enough. Enough is enough. We should
yeah,
all come together, break this fucking stigma, and know that men have feelings. You know, I mean, I'm look, I'm going through shit right now. I've got a counselor. But tomorrow's gonna be a new day, and then after tomorrow, the next day is gonna be a new day, and so on and so on. You just got to keep on fighting forward. Yeah, I was knocked down. I was like Joey said, I was on my knee, one knee, but Joey helped pick me up. And I appreciate that. And if you don't have a friend to help you pick up, let us know. Reach out to us. We'll help pick you up. That's what we want to do, honestly.
yeah. Raw Minds Podcast at gmail.com. Please, if you're hurting, you're struggling, you're broken, email us. We're here to talk. You don't have to use your real names. If you want to leave your phone number, we'll call you. If you don't know how to find resources in your town, and even if we don't live there, we will help you find them.
Right?
We will do some
No,
research for you. We will help you out the best that we can. Eric said
definitely.
at the beginning, we are not doctors or psychiatrists, but I promise you, the resume of trauma and chaos that we have lived through, and abuse and loss, is why we are here doing what we do.
Still going through it, bro.
So, 100%. And that's
Yep.
life. Life,
Yep.
life is, no matter how good your lives are, life is going to come around the corner and fucking punch you in the face from time to time.
Oh yeah, I feel like I got beat up by Mike Tyson the last 3 weeks here. I'll tell you that. But
But
here
that,
we are.
now it's the tools that you've learned as on your healing journey, so that when these things happen again, how to get up a lot faster.
Exactly, man. That's it.
And how to deal with it a lot better this time. And that clarity of the self-awareness that we were talking about.
Yeah.
That is a huge one, because I learned on how to really be the most self-aware in general is because I cleared out that poison in my mind after all those years.
Yeah, man.
And now I'm able to stand back and like, is it worth it? Should I say this? And make positive decisions and not emotional decision, temporary decisions
Yeah.
on, you know what I mean? Or permanent decisions on
This is on
temporary
temporary
emotions.
emotions. Exactly. Yeah.
And most people do that because a few days later you look back and like, why the fuck did I say that? Why did I do
Fuck,
that? And
I
now,
did it the other day.
so it's get through that healing journey, step out of that comfort zone, reach
Yeah.
out if you don't know, if you have no one to talk to, you're not alone. I
Yeah.
promise you, you're not alone, and you probably feel like it, but you're not. So
Yeah.
hit us up, rawmindspodcast@gmail.com. We drop episodes every Friday on, I don't know how many platforms now: iTunes,
We're
Spotify,
on everything, man.
YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio,
Yeah. We're
Audible.
platform sluts right now.
We're
That's
on
what we
all
are.
Apple pod. And you see the email we got the other day? We're one of the very well ranked podcasts in Canada now.
147 or something like that, or some shit like that.
So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So thank you.
thank you to everyone. It's always a pleasure to come out here and talk to you guys. But on that note, if you can't find good people, be good people.
And I just want to apologize to all our Raw Minds community. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I was going through some shit. Uh, going through some serious shit. So I've been slacking on my part, but I'm back and we're gonna start pushing out the content again. So I just want to apologize. Life happens, I get it, but um, yeah, it was just hard. But thanks for Joey for kicking me in the ass here and smarting me up. I appreciate it as a true friend. Love you, brother. Uh,
Love you too, man.
shit's gonna pop off again. So thank you, everybody. I mean it. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Um, thank you. Anyways,
The come the
huh?
comeback is always greater than the setback.
Fucking rights, man. Fucking rights. And on that note,
Until
go ahead.
peace. See you guys next week.
Be good or be good at it. Bye.